Case Construction King G430 Model 23 1965. I have approximately between 30 and 35 hours worth of work on it since I purchased this machine, and it's been exceeding my expectations, mostly because I didn't know how to work one. It's the very first time I've ever operated a backhoe, and I'm getting rather proficient with it. I'm not efficient, but I'm improving. What I'm doing is there was a very large pile of clay mounded up here from a large excavator coming in here and digging that hole. And that was like 8 years ago. At that point I ran out of money, so I couldn't finish the project. But now I bought this machine. The machine came with a really nice trailer for $6 grand. And the trailer did need the brakes to be hooked up and some other tires, some other things. And that's already completed, so I put another $1,500 into the trailer, so I have a total of $7,500 into this thing. And I kind of was thinking, if I've got like 35 hours, you know, backhoe operators are probably $100 an hour now. I got 3,500 of the 7,500 back already. I've got 2 more weeks here before I haul home, and maybe I'll get that many hours. I'm going to plan on spending more time now because it's cooler and it's September, and I've got some other things going on that it requires me to come here. So maybe I'll get that 75 hours in before I bring it back, and then it becomes a snow plow and a means to lift large tires into trailers. So we're going to get our use out of it as long as it keeps running. I'm going to start it up right now. You can hear it run. Pull that up with premium so I don't have ethanol. I want to do short sessions because the exhaust is right there, and I've been breathing it in. And when I did the 3.5, I felt a little woozy. I think it's from that exhaust. So now I try to do like 2.5 hours and I'm quick for the day. I've got it all stretched out because I greased it. I can't reach the grease zerks on the top. And I'm greasing it every 2 sessions, so every 4 to 5 hours. It's really dusty, then I'll grease it every time I'm done. It's not dusty, it's been raining. So every 4 hours. I can almost tell, and I can tell when it's getting low on grease. When I swing the arm, it kind of goes, kind of jerks. Whereas when there's grease in there, it's really smooth. Same thing, I hear a squeak once in a while if I don't grease it long enough. Because in the beginning I'd probably go 3 times and I was doing longer sessions, so you know I might have been doing 8 hours and it was out of grease. And the pins are probably wore and they're wobbling around a little bit. It doesn't take much to get the grease pushed out. I'm using synthetic grease, mobile synthetic. And I let it warm up for a little while, and then I'll put it through its paces. I'll do a little recording of it. What I'm doing right now is taking the clay that I mounded up over here, and I'm hauling it to another spot, get it away from the pond, because I want to dig this down so that there's a shallow area, you know, like 1.5 to 2 feet deep, and all that water, once the snow melts, accumulates, and then it feeds this pond as everything starts to dry out. Give this little pond another 3 weeks or something of water before it gets down to its low levels. Last year was a total drought for a long time, and it still had, you know, maybe 8 feet of water in it. This will just give it another battery. It's like a battery. It'll recharge that pond until first that's out of water. I like to warm it up 5-10 minutes before I start working it. When it's running good in the 2 hours, 2.5 hours, it's like the 170 degree area. But that one day that I did it 3.5 hours and it was kind of hot and humid that day, it got up to 190. So I was woozy maybe because it was too hot, and I was heat stroke or both combination of it was hot, exhaust, I don't know what. But it's an old machine and I'm not working it for commercial purposes. So a couple hours a day when I'm here. So like for a while there was once a week, 2 days, once a week, come up here. And now I'm coming up every 2 days. I want to get this finished. At the end of September I'm pulling it out. I got work to do with it down south. I'd like to get the rest of this clay removed. I'm going to leave a little area here for a little deer food plot. I've got the topsoil next door in a big pile. I'll put a foot of topsoil over the top of this and I'll plant it up for deer. I got a little food plot on the other side of the pond, one on this side, and water. So during the dry time of the year, this is the spot. Come and get something to eat, get a nice belly full of water, off you go browsing again.
not going to wear my battery out showing you what I do over and over again. I'll show you what I did for today when I'm completed.
This is what I'm looking at when I'm looking at the dash. I'm not sure what's here. I don't know what that is, but it's not working. RPMs, temperature, amperage. This is a choke. I'm not sure what this is. That might be the lights. Right here is forward and reverse. Counterintuitive. Forward is coming back back at you. Reverse is forward. Then we have 4 gears and a start. You see the S on here? That's start. You gotta put it in that position to start it. Way over and up. Then we have 4 gears. And I don't think they're synchronized. You have to start on 4th. Just ride the clutch slowly. There's 2 operations for the brake here. I'm not sure what for. The brake doesn't work very well. Always put the bucket down. And hold it in place. This operates the bucket. So, this one is. The stabilizers, both ends. This is what brings the, I'm not sure what it's called, but the boom up. This operates what I think is the rigger, and this is the bucket. And these foot feeds, they look like throttles, are what shift it from side to side. You gotta, if you want to grease it, you gotta extend that arm all the way out and put it to the ground because there's zerks. You see the one way up on the top? Of course, you're not gonna climb up there to grease it, are you? Well, I'm not anyway. I don't know why I'm talking to you and saying it's you, it's me. I'm not gonna climb up there and grease it. I think that pin is kind of wore out because if the grease gets a little thin, it kind of jerks. If I got enough grease in there, then we're good to go. Alright. And of course this is the throttle. It down right now because I just ran it for about 2 hours. Right. So I moved this pile of clay, and I would grab a backhoe bucket full and then I'd run it all the way to the end here. I'm trying to get it away from this pond. There's just too much material around this pond from digging it. And I'm building what's called a silvo pasture right here. A silvo deer pasture. See, I got some deer plants in there. Now it's kind of wet right now, so I tried to pack it down at once, so I'm going to let it dry for a day and then drive over it again. But I'm extending this road out until it's level. And there's really no reason to do it other than I got so much material I got to do something with it. I got to get it away from the pond. And there's an extra batch just in case I need it for something, which I don't know what I'm going to need it for, but I put it there. Actually kind of serves as a barrier between deer pastures. Keep them from stressing out if there's more than 2 batches in here, 2 herds, 2 does with fawns. So this was a low spot and it had some water in it from raining the last couple days. I didn't have it level. So I put some more in here, and then the clay's so wet it just squishes around. So we'll wait till tomorrow and we'll level it out. I just get the bucket and I just go choot, 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 and that levels out. Well, that is it. Case G430, model 23, 1965. Seen better days, but it's still operational. It's going to finish this little pond deal design that I have. And I got a couple other small projects here, and then I'm going to bring it back. I made a design for ponds and vernal pools, and I thought this pond would dry out too, because it's just high ground and it's just a bunch of clay. But the clay is so dense that it holds the water. I don't think it soaks in at all. It's just a matter of it's whatever fills up and then it evaporates. And last year we had a pretty good drought and it didn't evaporate all the way down, so I'm really happy about that. But I kind of ran out of money there when this was dug like 8-9 years ago, and I didn't do anything. And I wasn't going to do anything this year either, except for this machine came up. And you know, every time I had an excavator in here for a couple of days, it was 5-6 grand. Didn't take long, I run out of money, right? So now I bought that, and I bought it very close to camp here, and the trailer wasn't such that I could haul this thing home. The brakes weren't working at all, and the tires were old. Matter of fact, I had a blowout bringing it back home so I could get it fixed. And so it was great to drop it off here and get this work done. In a couple weeks I'll bring that trailer back up here and haul it home. So that worked out. That's working out pretty good. Maybe I'll haul it up here again this year, or next year, do some more projects. But I really want to get this clay out of here before I bring it back, and then kind of dig down. I want to build a shallow pond there off in the distance. I'm going to connect it to this one so that that's a battery. As the water dries down in the summer, that water comes and continues to fill a pond until it runs out. Then it might give the pond an extra 2-3 weeks of water when it's dry. So, just the design I have. And then of course we have, I have a little deer food plot here, and I'm going to have one where the clay I'm taking it off of. I've got the topsoil piled up next door. I'll put the topsoil on top, so I have 2 little food plots, and where it's between 2 areas of trees, so it's not going to get full sunlight on a really hot, dry summer. I think this is going to be the place to be. These plants won't dry out, the pond won't dry out, and all my animal friends are going to have a nice place to come and visit on a dry summer.